I raised my son alone since he was 7 years old. I worked double shifts so he wouldn't feel his mother's absence. I paid for his college, his car, his apartment. On his wedding day, I was in the front row, smiling. 3 months later, he called to say he was going to spend Christmas at his in-laws' house. He didn't ask if I had plans. He didn't ask how I was. He just let me know. And I said, "That's okay, son." It was the first time I felt like I had lost something that would never come back. Have you ever been replaced without anyone firing you? And the worst part is that it took me almost a year to understand that it hadn't been an accident. It was a choice. My name is David. I'm 55 years old and I work as a logistics manager in Portland, Oregon. I raised my son, Alex, practically alone. His mother left when he was 7. It wasn't dramatic. She simply said she couldn't take it anymore, packed her bags, and left. Alex cried for weeks. I didn't have time to cry. Someone needed to keep the house running. I worked 2 jobs until Alex turned 12. He never knew. I'd leave at dawn, come back to make breakfast with him, go to my main job, then to the second shift, and get home in time for dinner. Weekends were his. They always were. Soccer, the park, the movies, whatever he wanted. I never said no. When he started college, I sold my car to help with tuition. I hitched rides with co-workers for 2 years. Alex didn't know. He didn't need to know. I just wanted him to have what I never had. Graduation with honors, a good job, a stable life. And he achieved all of that. I was so proud. Words can't express it. When he introduced me to Emma 3 years ago, I liked her instantly. She was intelligent, educated, and came from a well-structured family, the kind of woman I always wanted for my son. Her family was wealthy. They didn't flaunt it, but you could tell. A big house in Lake Oswego, 2 imported cars, trips every year. I didn't feel inferior, just different. I had built everything myself. They had inherited it. It's not judgment. It's observation. The wedding was beautiful. A ceremony in a place overlooking the river, 200 guests, a live band. I paid half, even though I didn't need to. He was my only son. I wanted to contribute. During the vows, Alex looked at me and waved. It was a small gesture, but it meant everything. I thought, it was worth it. Every double shift, every car I didn't buy, every vacation I didn't take. It was worth it. 3 weeks after the wedding, Alex called less. I thought it was normal. He was building a life. But then the months passed, and the calls became even rarer. And when they did happen, they were quick. "Hi, Dad. How are you? Everything's fine here. We'll talk more later, okay?" And that later never came. At first, I justified everything. Alex was busy, new job, new marriage, responsibilities. I understood, or I thought I understood. I texted him every week. "How are you, son? Did you manage to solve that problem at work? Is Emma okay?" The replies came hours later, sometimes a day later, short. "Everything's fine, Dad. I'm good. We'll talk later." I kept texting, because that's how I stayed in touch. I was always the one who called, the one who remembered birthdays, the one who asked if everything was okay. And it worked, until it didn't anymore. The first Christmas after the wedding was when something really changed. I always spent Christmas with Alex. Since his mother left, it had just been the 2 of us. Roast turkey, a bad movie on TV, simple gifts. It was our tradition. So when November arrived, I was already planning. I bought a bigger turkey. I set aside money for a nice gift for Emma too. I wanted her to feel part of the family. On November 20th, Alex called. "Dad, I need to tell you something." I thought it was going to be good news, maybe a promotion, or maybe Emma was pregnant. "We're going to spend Christmas at Emma's parents' house this year." I held the phone. I waited for him to continue. He didn't. "Oh," that was all that came out. "It's just, her family is big, you know, and Emma's mother insisted a lot. But we'll see each other at New Year's, okay? I said I could, because what else could I say? You can't wasn't an option. I wasn't going to be the controlling father, the father who holds his son back. So I said I understood. I hung up. I stared at my phone, and for the first time in years I felt completely alone. I spent Christmas watching TV. I didn't even make turkey. I made a sandwich. I had a beer. I tried not to think too much. Alex texted at 11 o'clock at night. "Merry Christmas, Dad. Sorry I didn't call sooner. Things have been hectic here." I replied, "Merry Christmas, son." He didn't reply. New Year's didn't happen either. Alex texted on the 28th. "Dad, sorry, but it's not going to work. We booked a last-minute trip." I said it was okay, again, because it was true, or because I wanted it to be. Look, if you've ever felt like this, like you've become an option, not a priority, subscribe to the channel, because you're not alone in this, and I want you to stay here with me until the end of this story. Comment below where you're watching from now. That's all. The city, the state. I want to know. I started wondering what I had done wrong. I reviewed every recent conversation, every message. Had I been inconvenient? Too insistent? I tried to remember if I had said anything that might have offended Emma, or her family, but I hardly spoke to them. At family gatherings I was polite, quiet. I listened more than I spoke, so it couldn't be that. Maybe it was my apartment. Small, 2 bedrooms, old furniture. Nothing compared to Alex's in-laws' house. Maybe Emma had said something. Maybe Alex was embarrassed. I considered moving, getting a better place, more presentable. But then I thought, what for? They never came here anyway. I arranged to have lunch with Alex in February. I texted him 3 times before he confirmed. We met at a restaurant near his office. He was late, 12 minutes late. He apologized quickly. He said a meeting had run over. I said it was no problem. We ordered food. We talked about work, about the weather. General, safe things. I wanted to ask why he had disappeared, why he wasn't calling anymore, why Christmas had been canceled. But I didn't ask, because I was afraid of the answer, or I was afraid of not getting an answer. So I stayed in the dark, and so did he. He looked at his cell phone every 5 minutes. In the end, he said he needed to go back. Important meeting at 2. It was 1:40 p.m. He paid the bill. I let him. We hugged quickly. "We'll talk later, Dad." And he left. I sat there for another 20 minutes, alone, staring at my empty plate, trying to understand when my son had turned into a polite stranger. I started accepting invitations that I used to refuse, barbecues with coworkers, happy hours, anything to avoid being alone at home waiting for a call that never came. People would ask about Alex. "How's your son?" "He's fine," I'd say. "Married now, happy." And they'd smile. And I'd smile too, because it was easier than explaining. At night, I would look at photos of him as a child. Alex at 7, holding hands on his first day of school without his mother. Alex at 12, celebrating a goal in the championship I never lost. Alex at 18, on his high school graduation day. All the photos had one thing in common. I was there. I always have been. And now, I was nowhere. In April, Emma got pregnant. Alex called to tell me. It was one of the few times he called without me calling first. "Dad, I have news." His voice was different, excited. I felt something tighten in my chest. "Emma's pregnant. You're going to be a grandfather." I should have been happy, and I was. But it was a strange kind of happiness, mixed with fear. Fear that this grandson would also drift away. Fear that I would become the grandfather who sees the child twice a year, in photos, from afar. I said, "Congratulations, son." I said I was proud. I said everything a father should say. And it was true. But it wasn't just that. We wanted you to know first, Alex said. First. I held back that word. First meant that I still mattered, that I still had a place, even if it was small, even if it was distant. Thank you for telling me, Alex. He laughed. Of course, Dad. You're my dad. And he hung up right after. He had to let Emma's family know. 2 weeks later, they had a gender reveal party. I wasn't invited. I found out through photos on Facebook. Emma's whole family was there. Pink balloons, cake, smiles, Alex with his arm around his mother-in-law. I looked at those photos for an hour, trying to understand, trying to justify it. Maybe it was something small, intimate. But there were at least 40 people in the photo. I called Alex the next day. Hi, son. I saw the pictures. Congratulations on the baby girl. He was silent for 2 seconds. Oh. Yeah, thanks, Dad. Pause. Sorry I didn't call you. It was kind of last minute. At the last minute, you don't organize a gender reveal party with 40 people. But I didn't say that. I said it's okay. Because that's what I always said. I turned it off and sat on the sofa. Quiet. And it was in that silence that something clicked. I hadn't been forgotten. I had been deleted. There's a difference. Forgetting is an accident. Deleting is a choice. I started noticing other things. Alex always mentioned we now. We decided. We're going. We think. Never I. As if he had ceased to exist on his own. As if every thought needed approval. I didn't blame Emma. It wasn't about her. It was about him. About the choice he had made without telling me. He had chosen a new family, and I had become the old one. June, Father's Day. I woke up expecting a call, or a message, anything. I kept my phone by my side all day. I watched 2 movies, I cleaned the apartment, I made lunch. My phone was silent. At 7 o'clock in the evening, Alex texted, Happy Father's Day, Dad. Sorry for the rush. We're finishing up the baby's room. Photo attached. Pink room. White crib. Beautiful. I replied. Thank you, son. The room looks lovely. He liked the message. He didn't reply. I stared at my phone, trying to decide if that was enough. A text message. No call. No. Let's have lunch. No. Come over to my place. Just a generic message with a picture of a room I'd never see in person. And for the first time, I felt anger. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I just felt it. A cold, quiet anger. The anger of someone who gave everything and received crumbs in return. The anger of someone who woke up. 2 days later, Alex called. Dad, we're organizing the baby shower. It's at the end of the month. Can you come? I almost said yes. Almost. But then I asked, where will it be? At Emma's parents' house. What time? 2 in the afternoon, Saturday. Okay, I'll confirm later. I didn't confirm. I waited for him to ask again. He didn't ask. On the day of the tea party, I stayed home, lying on the sofa, facing the ceiling. Alex texted at 3. Where are you, Dad? I looked, took a deep breath, typed, Sorry, son, I'm not feeling well. A lie. I was fine, physically, but it was easier than telling the truth. Oh, what a shame. Get well soon. We'll take a picture for you. He did. He sent 5 photos, Emma's whole family. Alex smiling. Emma radiant. Nobody asked about me. Nobody missed me. And that's when I understood. I was optional. Optional in events. Optional in decisions. Optional in my own son's life. And the part that hurt the most was realizing that this hadn't started now. It had started slowly. So slowly that I didn't notice. One less phone call. One forgotten invitation. One canceled holiday. Until one day, I simply wasn't there anymore. I spent the entire month of July without calling Alex. I wanted to see how long it would take for him to call me. First week, nothing. Second week, nothing. Third week, he texted, "Dad, is everything all right? You disappeared." I read it. I didn't reply right away. I waited 3 hours. "I'm fine, just busy." He liked the message. He didn't insist. I started testing things out, little things. Stopping sending good morning messages, stopping asking how he was, stopping initiating conversations. I wanted to see if he would notice. He didn't notice. Or he noticed and didn't care. I don't know which is worse. Emma's birthday was in August. I texted her, "Happy birthday to Emma." Alex replied, "Thanks, Dad. She appreciates it." I wasn't invited to the party. I found out later, again, through Facebook. Fancy dinner, restaurant downtown, her parents, her siblings, friends. Alex posted a photo with the caption, "Celebrating this incredible woman with the people we love. The people we love." I stared at that phrase for a long time. I called him 2 days later. Finally. "Alex, we need to talk." He was quiet. "About what, Dad?" "About how things are between us." Silence. "Everything's okay, isn't it?" "No, Alex, it's not." I took a deep breath. I spoke slowly. "Ever since you got married, I've become invisible. You don't call. You don't visit. I find out about things online. I was excluded from the gender reveal party, from Emma's birthday. Father's Day was a text message. I raised you alone, Alex. Alone. And now I don't exist anymore." More silence, long, heavy. "Dad, it's not like that." "Then how is it?" He sighed. "I have a life now, responsibilities. Emma, the baby coming. It's not personal." "It's not personal?" I laughed, humorlessly. "I'm your father, Alex. How is that not personal?" "You're exaggerating." He said that. Exaggerating. As if my feelings were drama. As if 30 years of dedication didn't deserve even an honest conversation. "Okay, Alex." My voice came out tired. "If you think I'm exaggerating, then there's nothing to talk about." "Dad, don't do this." "Do what, Alex?" "I just want to be a father, to be present, but you won't let me." "I will. You're the one who—" He stopped. He didn't finish the sentence. "You're the one who what?" Silence. "Forget it, Dad. We'll talk later." And he hung up. I held the phone in my hand, trembling, not with anger, with pain. September brought the birth of his granddaughter, Ella. Alex called from the hospital, 4 in the morning. "Dad, she's born. Ella Rose, 3.5 kilos. Emma's doing well." His voice was emotional, broken. I felt my chest tighten. "Congratulations, son. I'm so happy for you." "Do you want to come and see?" he asked. Finally, an invitation. Now. It doesn't have to be now, but today, if you can. "I can. Send me the address." He sent it. Providence Hospital, room 312. I arrived at 9 in the morning. I bought flowers on the way. White roses. I went up to my room. I knocked on the door. Alex opened it. He looked different. Tired. Older. He smiled. "Hi, Dad." He hugged me. It was quick, but it was sincere. "Come in." Emma was in bed, holding Ella. Her mother was beside her. Her father was sitting in the armchair. Her sister was taking a picture. The room was full. I entered slowly. "Hi, Emma. Congratulations." She smiled. Tired. "Thank you, David." I brought flowers. I handed them to her. Her mother took them. "How lovely. I'll put them in water." Alex picked Ella up. "Dad, this is Ella." He came closer. I looked at my granddaughter. Tiny. Perfect. Eyes closed. I felt something melt inside me. "She's beautiful, Alex. Do you want to hold her?" I nodded. He placed her in my arms, carefully. Ella opened her eyes. She looked at me, and I swore she saw me. She really saw me. "Hi, Ella. I'm your grandfather." My voice came out low, trembling. I held her for 2 minutes. Emma's mother took a picture. What a beautiful moment. But her tone wasn't sincere, It was automatic. Alex took Ella back. We'll stay here for another 2 days, then take her home. Do you need anything? No, everything's fine. Emma's mother organized everything. Of course she did. Okay, well, I'll let you rest. Thanks for coming, Dad. I left the room. I went down to the parking lot. I sat in the car, and I cried. Not from happiness, from sadness, because I had just met my granddaughter. And I knew it was going to be like this. Quick visits, scheduled, controlled. I was going to be a grandfather from afar. I decided to stop insisting, not out of anger, not out of revenge, out of exhaustion. Exhaustion of always being the one who calls, the one who asks, the one who makes the effort. I stopped texting. I stopped calling. I stopped liking photos on Facebook. I just stopped. First week, nothing. Second week, nothing. Third week, Alex texted. Dad, did you see Ella's pictures? I did. I didn't like them. I didn't comment. I did, I replied. That's all. He didn't reply. October passed. Then November. I filled my days with work, gym, books. I started therapy, online, every Thursday at 7. The therapist, Karen, was about 40 years old. Calm. Direct. David, why do you think you stopped calling your son? Because I'm tired of being ignored. Do you think he ignores you on purpose? I thought. I don't know. Maybe not. But it hurts just the same. And does stopping calling solve the pain? No. But at least I stop hurting myself. Karen wrote something down. Have you considered that your son might just be living his life without intending to exclude you? Yes. But unintentional exclusion is still exclusion. She nodded. And have you told him how you feel? I tried. He said I'm exaggerating. And you think it is? I looked at her, straight up. No. She smiled, small. So you're not. And it's okay to hold back. To protect your heart. That's not selfishness, David. It's survival. I felt something loosen in my chest. Permission. Permission to step away. Permission not to be the perfect father who endures everything. Permission to feel pain and react to it. December arrived. Christmas again. Alex called. First time in weeks. Dad, we're going to spend Christmas here at home this year. Ella's first time. Do you want to come? I wanted to. Of course I wanted to. But I also knew how it would be. I would arrive, stay a few hours, observe. Emma's family would dominate the space. I would be polite, silent, and I would go home feeling worse than before. Thank you for the invitation, son, but I already have other plans. A lie. Oh, he seemed surprised. What plans? I'm going to travel. Another lie. Where to? I haven't decided yet. Oh, okay. Well, Merry Christmas then. Merry Christmas, Alex. I spent Christmas alone, again. But this time it was my choice. January was strange. Quiet. Empty. But not a bad kind of empty. A clean kind of empty. Like when you move a heavy piece of furniture out of a room and can finally breathe. I wasn't expecting calls. I wasn't checking my phone all the time. I wasn't creating expectations. Alex texted me on the 15th. Dad, are you okay? You disappeared. I laughed. Alone. On the couch. Because that's exactly what he'd done to me. I'm fine, I replied. Just living my life. I used his words. On purpose. He didn't reply. February. Ella's birthday. 1 year old. Big party. I wasn't invited. I found out through Facebook. Clowns. 3-tiered cake. 100 people. Emma's family. Friends. Alex's work colleagues. Everyone. Except me. I looked at the photos. Without feeling anything. Not anger. Not sadness. Just acceptance. Acceptance that my place in my son's life had shrunk so much that it no longer existed. Karen asked how I was feeling. Empty. Sad emptiness or relieved emptiness? I thought. Both. And that scares you? A little. I always thought fatherhood was forever, that a father's love never ended. But I guess mine ended. Do you really think so? She tilted her head. Or did you just get tired of loving alone? I stayed quiet. Because she was right. I still loved Alex. But I had stopped destroying myself over him. March. Alex called. Late at night. 11:30. I answered on the third ring. Hello? Dad. His voice sounded strange. Can I talk to you? Is something wrong? No, yes. I don't know. I just needed to hear your voice. I stayed silent, confused. Is everything all right, Alex? Emma thinks I'm being distant, that I've changed. And I don't know. Maybe I have. Why are you calling me now? Because I missed you. 4 words. I missed you. I should have been happy, relieved. But I only felt tired. Alex, you sidelined me for over a year, excluded me, ignored me. And now you call at 11 o'clock at night because you missed me? I know I was wrong. Knowing doesn't change anything. I want to fix it, Dad. Fix it how? Silence. I don't know, but I want to try. I took a deep breath. Alex, I love you. I will always love you. But I'm not going to hurt myself anymore just to be in your life. If you want me around, you need to include me. For real, not just when it's convenient. I'll go. I promise. Promises are easy, son. Actions are not. That her family is very present. And that maybe I got lost in that. And you think you lost yourself? Pause. I think so. I wanted to please everyone. To be the perfect son-in-law, the perfect husband. And in the midst of all that, I forgot to be a son. I felt something tighten around me, but I didn't forgive him right away. Forgiveness isn't automatic. Thank you for acknowledging it, Alex. Do you forgive me? Not yet. But maybe someday. He accepted. He didn't insist. And that meant more than any apology. Mother's Day. Alex called. Dad, we're having lunch at Emma's mom's house, but I wanted you to come. Why? Because you're my dad, and I want you to really get to know Ella, not just during hospital visits. I hesitated. Will Emma's family be comfortable with this? I don't care. You're my father. You will. I went. I arrived at noon. The house was full. Emma's mother greeted me, polite, cold. Her father shook my hand. Firm. Quick. Alex took me to the backyard. Ella was playing on the grass. He picked her up. Ella, this is Grandpa David. She looked at me, seriously. Then she smiled, small, shyly. I smiled back. Hi, Ella. Alex put her on my lap. She stayed. She didn't cry. She just stayed, looking at me, curious. We spent the afternoon like that. Me, Alex, and Ella, in the backyard, away from the others. And for the first time in over a year, I felt like I had a place. June, Father's Day. Alex showed up at my house, unannounced, with Ella, and with a package. Happy Father's Day, Dad. I opened it. It was a framed photo. Me, Alex, and Ella, from lunch in May. The 3 of us smiling. Emma took it secretly, he said. I thought it was beautiful. It is beautiful, I agreed. Thank you, son. He hugged me, for a long time. I'm sorry for everything, Dad. Really. I held him. I know. Alex has been calling, visiting, bringing Ella. And how do you feel about that? Good, but also cautious. Cautious why? Because I don't want to go back to what it was before. I don't want to be disposable again. And you told him that? Not directly. David. She looked at me, seriously. Tell me. I called Alex that night. Son, I need to tell you something. Go ahead, Dad. I'm happy that we're reconnecting. But I need you to understand. I'm not going back to being the dad who accepts crumbs. If you want me to be a part of your life, it has to be for real, not just when it's easy. I understand, Dad, and I want to. Really. Then prove it to me. Not with words, with time. Okay, I will. And he proved it. August, September, October. Weekly calls, monthly lunches, visits with Ella. He started including me. Barbecue at his house, dinner with Emma, walk in the park. It wasn't perfect. Emma's family still dominated. Holidays were still complicated. But I had space, small, but real. Karen asked if I had forgiven her. Not completely yet, but I'm getting there. What's missing? Time. Just time. November. Ella's second birthday. Party at home, small, Emma's family, and me. Alex sat me down next to him, at the main table. Not in the corner, not isolated, in the center. Ella climbed onto my lap during the cake service, spontaneously, without Alex asking. She just came and stayed. We sang Happy Birthday. She blew out the candle, looked at me, smiled. Grandpa. It was the first time she called me that. I felt something break and heal at the same time. December, Christmas. Alex called. Dad, we're going to split it up. Lunch at Emma's parents' house, dinner at yours. Is that okay? At mine? Yes. I want Ella to spend Christmas with you too. I prepared the turkey. I decorated the living room. I bought presents. They arrived at 7. Ella ran to me. Grandpa! I picked her up. Alex smiled. Emma too. We had dinner. We opened presents. We watched a bad movie on TV. It was simple, but it was ours. January, New Year. I turned 56 alone, but not lonely. Alex called. Emma texted. Ella sent an audio message. Happy birthday, Grandpa. Her small voice, drawn out. Perfect. February, last day of therapy with Karen. You don't need me anymore, she said. How do you know? Because you're no longer losing yourself trying to be loved. You know your worth. She was right. I had learned something most parents never learn. Love isn't unconditional sacrifice. It's reciprocity. It's respect. And when that's absent, you have the right to withdraw, not out of anger, but out of dignity. Alex and I can't go back to being who we were. You can't go back. What's broken is never the same again. But we built something new, something smaller, more fragile, but honest. Today, I see Alex twice a month. We have lunch. He takes Ella to the park. We talk about work, life, plans. He includes me, not in everything, but enough. And I've learned to accept enough. Not because I deserve less, but because I'm not going to destroy myself for more anymore. There are days when I miss Alex as a child. The boy who thought I was a hero, who slept in my lap, who said, I love you, Dad, every night. That Alex doesn't exist anymore. And that's okay. People change. Children grow up. Priorities are rearranged. What matters is that I didn't lose myself in the process. I didn't become a shadow. I didn't become resentful. I just learned to protect myself. And if there's one thing I'd say to any parent going through this, you don't have to erase yourself to be loved. You're not selfish for wanting reciprocity. And you're not exaggerating if it hurts. Your pain is real. Your worth is too. And if your child doesn't see it now, maybe one day they will. Or maybe not. But you'll be okay. Because you learned to love yourself when no one else did it for you. And in the end, that's what saved me. If this story touched you in any way, if you've ever felt invisible, replaced or discarded by someone you love, leave a like. Not for me, but for you. Because you deserve validation. Subscribe to the channel. Stay here with me. These stories are about people like us. People who love too much, who give too much, and who need to learn to stop before they disappear. And now, click on the video that's appearing on your screen, because if you've made it this far, you need to hear that story too. Trust me. Thank you for staying.